Jason, don't let them escape. Jason.
Get into it. Let's do it.
Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Don't believe me, just watch.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the 2-4 Podcast. I am your host, Christian, and with me is the Ken Dog. Say what's up to the people, Ken.
What's up, everybody? It is Saturday, and we are gonna get into some hot topics, man.
Hey, you gotta admit that that track was fire, right?
That track was fire. You know what? Because we are killers, man. We killing the game out here.
Dude,
You know, you gotta have that Jason, that Michael Myers, man. Because we out here killing it.
and Freddie was in there too, bro.
Freddie, yep.
It started with Freddie. I think in the middle was Jason, and then it ended with Michael. And
That was fire.
Yeah, I was like, you know what?
We stone cold killers, man.
That's exactly what it is, man. We're gonna be killing the game, so might as well start out with a horror mashup right there. Man, last time we was on, man, we predicted some things that was true, but we ended on a note that we did not want, but we still chose the opposite. So we said the keys to victory, what they needed to beat, and they didn't do it.
They didn't do it.
And then
They didn't start off doing anything.
Yeah, and then, but you know, and because we love these guys and we trust them, we chose Light the Beam. But
Yep.
the problem
Always.
is we know this team too well, man. So like we
We really do.
we knew what to expect, man. Man, dude, it was a tough first quarter. I remember this is how bad it was, bro. It's seared into my mind what that first quarter was. It was 45-25.
Yeah.
And I said that the team needed to have a good start, because you don't really know what to expect from this Mavericks team and how they're really going to play. I know they played one game before with Kyrie, but it wasn't like it's not a definitive thing. It's just one game. You don't know if
Yeah.
that's really them or not. But we also have noticed that when Luka isn't on the floor and they play a faster pace,
They play
these guys
different pace,
they
faster
they
pace. Yeah. They like
they're a
to
lot
get out,
better.
shoot, spread the floor, and shoot the three, man. They're great uh, at shooting the ball. They shoot at a high percentage. They throw up a lot of shots. So, I mean, they hit us for like 13 threes in that game. We could
Yeah,
not
no.
defend. And it was the absolute worst start that the Kings have had in quite a while. And it was a 20-point game for almost 3 quarters, man. It was tough for them to get back into the game, man.
Yeah, and like even
They were
though
climbing out of this hole for the whole entire game. And if you look at the quarters, we won 3 of the quarters.
yeah, but
But that first
that's not the
quarter,
full story though. Yeah, it's
yeah, it's not
the
the full
first quarter.
story.
The first
The first
quarter
quarter,
did us real bad, and then like the other
real
part of the
bad.
story is like in those other quarters, the Kings would either do good early in that quarter or do good towards the end of that quarter. So even though they
Yeah,
would win by a few points every quarter, like it's not telling of like where the momentum was. The momentum was always with the Mavericks. And
always. Yeah, the Kings would have a little bit, and then the Mavericks would hit a couple threes, and they would take that away. But I mean, they like I told you, man, they lost that game in the first quarter, man. And it's always huge to start the game off right. You started off bad, you're battling the whole entire game to get back into it, and then sooner or later, you don't have enough time to get back into it. You might make it a close game towards the end, but you're gonna run out of time.
yeah, and what did we both say about the whole fourth quarter situation? We said that like don't be starting to play, you
Yeah,
know, like
don't be
too
starting to
late.
play in the fourth. Yeah, I
Yeah,
always say that. Well, I was like, why we show effort so late? Like you should be, you know. I get that may be like your last chance ditch effort, but
yeah,
like don't make it that way.
yeah,
Still you want to have your put all your effort into the last of it to
yeah,
try to make something out of it, but you got to do more for that. You got to try to get back into it like by the third quarter. If you're down by 20, you have to try to get back into it within 10 by the third quarter to have a chance in the fourth to make it a game or take the lead. That's where they gotta pick it up. They always do this last minute effort in the fourth, almost halfway through the fourth.
yeah.
I'm like, it's not gonna work.
Um, man, and they really kept doing self-inflicting wounds like
Yep,
turning over the
over.
turning the ball over. That's
Yep.
the thing that we talk about all the time. We feel like
Unforced too.
there's a lot of a bad, assist to turnover ratio, especially when you're talking about unforced turnovers. Like how many times did the Mavericks truly force you to turn over the ball? And
Not many.
a lot of times whoever the Kings are facing, I would say that the majority is unforced.
Yeah.
And so it's about cleaning up the game. And then one of the things that bothered me in the first quarter, going back to it, was another thing that we've been talking about pretty much all season, which is how they get so complacent with the 3-point shooting when it's not going down. And like
Yeah.
the only people to shoot free throws and to like really, you know, try to find ways to get the other team into foul trouble was Sabonis and De'Aaron. They were the only ones to go to the free throw line. So, you know, they're
Yeah.
not taking a bunch of threes. They were 1 for 8 or 1 for 7 or something like that in the first quarter. And and overall, they were like 8 for say 19 maybe in the first. So, you
Yeah.
know, that the only people to make field goals really was De'Aaron and Sabonis. Everybody else was being trash. I mean, they were like I said, they were being complacent with shooting
Yeah.
the three and just I get that they're open and I get that the broadcast was like saying, well, you know, they're still good shots and blah blah. You know what? But sometimes you need to abandon that kind of thing. You need to make them because they like every team bites on these threes, man. So like you
Mhm.
could even if you're like not doing well, they're still gonna run after you and run a little too hard to where you could pump fake and just get by them. And
Exactly.
so I want to see some of that, man, going into this game because we're going to get some Mavs again. We kicked our own butts, man. To be honest, it
Yeah.
wasn't so much them, it was us, and so we need to quit doing this, especially with how the West has gotten better. We are very fortunate that a lot of teams that are under us lost last night, so that
Mhm.
helps with us maintaining a higher seeding. But the thing is, the Mavericks are on our heels. They're the 4th seed. Do we want to keep
Yeah.
the 3rd seed? Because if we do, then we need to, you know,
We gotta get a game up on them.
we
We gotta take a game back, you know?
we need to do what I've been saying. The self-awareness that needs
Mhm.
to go up. That needs to go through the roof. Understand what's not working and try something else. And I mean, they just need to think of that good old saying from The Office. That one that Michael taught Dwight when it came to selling paper. And it was
Yes.
KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. That's all they need to do,
Exactly.
man. That's all they need to do.
Exact. Yeah. I mean, hopefully they've gotten to the and you know, I I still feel like they, you know, like we said, they got comfortable. They came home, man. They got comfortable. They got a little too comfortable and that first quarter got away from them.
Yeah.
And it was all downhill from there, man. Now they know. Well, they should have already known. They already should have known that first game. They need to come
Yeah.
out swinging. But now they know extra hard to come out swinging this time because you
Yeah.
don't want it to drop 2 back to back, especially to the team that's right behind you. You know,
Yeah.
they just took a game up on you last night, and you want to take it. You got to take a game back this time. So
Bro, so
they
yeah, I wanna mention a stat real quick. All right. So the Mavericks had 4 steals. We had 14 turnovers. That
we
tells
had
you
10
that tell
unforced turnovers,
basically.
basically. And
So yeah,
another thing that you talked about as well is rebounding.
yeah,
There was a point in that game where there's four. There's like 4 guys in the key. The ball goes up and they all go to transition on offense. I was like, you have to rebound the ball first before you can transition on offense.
yeah, man. That happened in the first quarter.
The first quarter. And
Nobody was trying
then
to help Sabonis.
down the stretch, it happened again. 4 of Kings players. It was Keegan, it was DeMontis, it was De'Aaron, and it was HB. All got out rebound by Kyrie. All of them were
Yeah.
in the key. All
I
got
said
out rebound by Kyrie.
I said we
That
needed
is
to handle
unacceptable.
the second chance
Yeah.
rebounds and points and stuff, and they had 11 offensive rebounds. to our
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
So
They're getting
that
out
tells you.
rebound and out effort. Like it was not a good game.
Yeah.
Even though like it on the the quarter by quarter score, we kept them under 30, but they didn't need to score 30. They needed to maintain the whole time because they had a 20-point lead on us. 20 to 15 at a time point lead on us. So all they had to do was maintain.
Where
And
I
we
will
were shooting ourselves in the foot the whole time.
where I will give the Kings credit is at some point they did have that self-awareness check
They did.
and stop shooting so many damn threes. They finished with
Especially
27.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Especially Kevin Herter. He took it upon himself, and I like to see him add another aspect to his game. And for
Yeah.
a moment, he was scoring a lot in the paint, and it felt like he was the only one scoring in the paint for that quite a time. And you already know De'Aaron does his thing. It was real unfortunate.
Malik got
DeMontis was
hurt. Oh, I thought you
Malik
meant
got
Malik.
hurt. Yeah, Malik got hurt, and DeMontis fouled out. I feel like a couple of those calls were a little bogus, but
Yeah.
that's just me. So it's a new night. It's a brand new game. So the word is Luka Doncic is clear to play tonight.
Okay. Well,
So
how about Malik? Do you know the injury report on him?
Malik, let's see.
While you're looking that up. Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna find it.
All right.
But yeah, but Luka's cleared to play, so it's gonna be a different team. We got Luka and Kyrie, so we're gonna see how they do. It's gonna be a different look. It could be a slower pace. Who knows?
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, you don't know if Luka is inspired to play at a faster pace because of the addition of Kyrie. And you never know if like also how good Kyrie is kind of like forces Luka to do it whether he wants to or not. Just by being on the same court as this dude, he might just find himself doing it. But I was disappointed in Harrison's play last night. He finished with 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist. I just don't see how you play 31 minutes and that's your stat line. You need to give me a little bit more in points, not a lot more, at least 15. And with the rebounds, I got to get close to double that if possible. And then the assists,
yeah.
I need to see him maybe knock a few more assists in there. Maybe like finish the game with 3 or 4 assists. And I wasn't paying too close attention to at least recall if HB was active in the passing lanes to at least get some deflections and stuff. But if he didn't do much of that, then I need to see that this game. Because regardless of how this game goes, like there's guys on this team that need to put out more than what they did.
And
Go
one of
ahead.
the biggest topics, like looking at Sacramento Kings and topics on like Sports Illustrated and stuff like that. The biggest topic was the Kings bench performance last night was a clear indicator of the moves that we needed to make on trade deadline.
Yeah.
The depth that we needed to add for the better shows. It showed last night that the bench did not perform well. So that's just another thought of mine that from what I've seen people talk about. But I have the injury report. Malik Monk will be out tonight with an ankle sprain. Domantas Sabonis, day to day, listed questionable tonight with a right thigh contusion. KZ is out as well with a knee injury. So DeMontis could play or he could not play. It's a probably going to be a game time decision. So that's another reason why we should have made a move to have a solid backup for DeMontis. But we'll see who, if he doesn't play, we'll see who gets to start.
Hold on, I'm doing some quick math right now. Okay, so our bench had 24 points and their bench had 43 points.
Yeah, that's
That's
bad.
that's pretty bad. Not being able to add a defensive piece like, how a lot of us Kings fans feel that we needed
Yeah.
a perimeter guy and a big man. Like this was kind of evidence of like what we've kind of been seeing all season, because the bench is kind of inconsistent. Even though
Yeah.
like we might have like two dudes who are kind of more reliable than others, like Trey Lyles and Malik Monk, they're just two dudes from the bench. I mean, I get that like in the playoffs you play smaller rotations, like you only play 9 or 10 guys, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of times where we get nothing from Davion. Like nothing. Like
Nothing.
yeah, he'll defend his guy, but he's not getting no rebounds. He's not assisting nobody. He's not doing anything. He's not feeling nothing on the stat line, and except for bricks and turnovers and stuff.
Okay.
Uh,
So, I agree with you. And I mean, last night, Chemezi didn't have a good out either. He turned the ball over like twice, and he didn't reach or wasn't real active. Going
So-
forward, now that the trade deadline is over, do you want to see more Rashawn Holmes?
I mean, we didn't move him, so yeah.
Yeah, he was playing well before, when he got his minutes and he got the start. He was playing. He was getting in the groove of things again.
We got somebody in the comments, man.
What we got?
Euro Chuck Norris says that he gets us on Luka holding the ball, but Luka and J Kid confirmed that Luka will play off ball with Kyrie. Yeah, it will be very interesting.
It
man.
will.
I'm
This will
very
be the first
interested.
time that they play together.
Yeah, because I'm going to be following this situation. Because this can either be like a great matchup or it could be a bit of a disaster. And if it is a bit of a disaster, what are the chances that they can convince Kyrie to stay?
Yeah.
And all that. I think Luka's very, very much capable of playing the more up tempo style and do some more off ball stuff. I think he desperately needs to have a lot of the load taken off his shoulders.
Absolutely. He was the most ball dominant player. Like, when he was playing, he's ISO every time, and that, he'll go out and score 50, 60 points, but he's carrying the team, now that he got Kyrie, he won't need to do as much. He can be that, scorer when he gets the ball. He doesn't have to facilitate all the time.
Yeah, and Euro Chuck Norris makes another excellent point about Luka being the most double team guy in the NBA. That's just because, like, on any given night, he had a lot of inconsistencies from guys on his team. He didn't know what he was getting. So sometimes, Spencer Dinwiddie would be on fire, and then he would get a little bit less of the double team and all that. But there was a lot of times where he was kind of inconsistent. and
Very,
wasn't
very.
giving you much. He was just kind of standing around like a lot of his other teammates, and so yeah, I don't see them doing a double team because the thing about Luca, even though maybe the numbers don't always support it, this dude to me hits some daggers.
Oh,
Like he
absolutely, 100%,
yeah,
100%.
and then he has an act for getting to the free throw line. Like he knows every trick out there, and you know his speed is
So does Kyrie.
he fools a lot of
So
people with his like speed. He reminds me of like when we had Brad Miller back in the day. He would have this little pump fake in the mid range and then blow by his guy. And a lot of times he was playing against younger dudes that were quicker, more athletic, and all that. And yet somehow this dude would always get a step and a half on them and just take it to the hoop. And Luca's like the same way. It's
yeah,
he's
Luca,
like
he
I don't know how to
he
call it. I don't know
finds
if
a
it's speed
way.
or quickness, but it's
He
tricky.
finds a way to slow it down enough to be fast. I don't
Yeah,
know if
there
that
you
makes
go.
sense, but
No, it makes sense to me.
he
Yeah.
slows himself down enough to be fast. Like people aren't expecting him to be, go that at that pace, But it works so well.
And
He's just a
I
great player.
and that makes it very like I'm wondering how this game is gonna go because like the point that you
Exactly.
just made, our guys on our team they are quick and athletic, but
Yeah, one of the fastest paced, but
are they gonna like not foul this dude? That's the problem
he'll get you.
because
He'll get you.
yeah.
Yeah. It's also gonna be it's gonna be cool. I'm wondering to see what happens. The mixture of both because you watch Kyrie facilitate last night. The whole Mavericks team was moving, man. They were cutting, moving the ball. They were passing the ball at least 4 or 5 times before they made a shot. So we'll see how that goes with both of them on the floor. Oh
So
yeah, I don't even know
I
where
don't know Sabonis.
JaVale McGee came from. I don't know where he came from, man.
Sabonis is available to play today. So
Is he? Yeah, I know he
yeah,
was
yeah,
day to day, so good,
yeah. I just
good.
saw it. It was reported 6 minutes ago.
But yeah,
Um,
JaVale McGee was giving him the business a little bit last night. Like Shaq said, JaVale McGee.
well, I mean, the last few years, JaVale McGee has been more consistent than inconsistent. The
Yeah,
only thing that becomes inconsistent is his minutes.
yeah,
But I feel like he's a dude that if you give him a consistent role, that will always be there with the minutes and all that. Like you're gonna get good things out of him.
yeah,
I think a lot of the Shaq and the Fool stuff that he would do, a lot of it is behind him. He still does it from
yeah.
time to time, but because it is JaVale, I mean,
JaVale McGee.
people do like to get on him, man, because we've seen so
Yeah,
much. And I was a huge JaVale McGee fan when he was drafted,
yeah.
and I was high on him because his mom is a basketball player,
Mm.
and she was a really good one. Um, but when I would see like how bad he would like hot dog shit, dude, like it was pretty bad. And
It
I was like,
was.
man, his mom need to like work on his game with him, bro. Cause his mom was a beast in the WNBA, bro.
Yeah. But yeah,
Uh
I get what you're saying, Euro. If well, Sabonis is cleared to play, but still, us being Kings fans, we preach this a lot. These guys got to help rebound. They got to crash boards. Keegan's got to crash boards more. Harrison Barnes got to crash boards more. Like they got to help Sabonis out. You know, on the rebounding end. No questions about it.
yeah. Do you expect uh bigger, I don't know, rebound numbers from the entire team, or do you expect uh Sabonis to just have a monster night trying to rebound. Because what do
It
you
could go
what do you
either. It
finish
could
with?
go either way.
He finished with
He
11
did
rebounds.
11. Yeah.
And
I mean, we've seen him get
maybe he
20,
gets maybe he gets in the higher teens tonight.
but I want the whole team to finish with rebounds.
The team that I would want to face in the first round, to be honest, it's still Dallas for me.
Yeah. If you put it on paper, it's the most winnable. You know. In the first
but it's a
round.
good test. It's a good test for both teams.
Both teams.
Good.
Yeah.
It's a good test because then you can see how far you can go with Kyrie and Luka and see what that dynamic is like. But if the Kings are able to get past the Mavs, then it says how much of a threat that they can be, and then it starts making you say, "Man, imagine if they were able to add, some more pieces."
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because they didn't do anything in the trade deadline, but maybe now they're looking like a favorable destination for guys, whether it be through trade or free agency. But yeah, man, like I I I would want to face Dallas. I'm trying to think of another team that I might want to face. Man, I guess it also depends on what the Clippers do, because I might want to face the Clippers. I know that
If they get in, yeah.
Kawhi and PG are really, really damn good, and it's hard to get past them. Like when they're in the playoffs together, man. Not even just the playoffs, just playing regular season games. It's hard to beat them and stuff.
Yeah.
Peja. A Euro said his page is still available somewhere. Yeah, he's one of our favorites too, man.
I love Peja. Love me some Peja.
He's
Have you seen his son?
He's overseas.
Have you seen Peja's son play?
No, I haven't. Have you?
Plays just like his dad, man.
Really?
Got the shot just like his dad. Yeah. His son is going to be a good player. I hope so.
Oh, smash,
his son,
man. Maybe the
Peja's son, because I've seen Peja and his son working out on the gym, on the court. And Peja can still shoot, man.
Hold on, dude, come on, man. Steve Kerr
can still shoot. Oh, yeah.
I know that. I'm just saying. I'm saying that nobody once a shooter, always a shooter. Okay, like, bro, you a sniper. You
say it's like Peja looked like he could still play. That's what I mean.
Oh man, but his back couldn't handle it, bro. That's why
he post up in the corner, dog. Just have him post up every play.
But he's too old anyway, man. He's too old anyway.
Man. Come on, man.
But hold on, how tall is his son? How tall is his son? Same height.
Now,
is it compared to his dad? Is he the same height or shorter?
I have to look it up. Well, obviously his son is a young kid right now.
Peja was tall. He was like 6'10", 6'11", bro. While you look that up, man, I want to keep talking about this upcoming matchup. Or actually, you know what? I want to go back to talking about another team that I would want to face in the playoffs. The reason why I want to face the Clippers is because what's their point guard situation going to be?
Yep.
If they can't get anybody of like good quality at the point guard, if they get somebody like Russell, who's a turnover machine and a bricklayer, the Kings would have a big time chance, man, because you're basically playing 4-on-5 with Russ, out there. So
Peja's son, Andres Stojakovic, he plays at Jesuit, Sacramento. Just shooting guard. He's 18 and he's 6'7" right now.
Yeah.
He's 18. He's 18 years old, so he could,
he could get a little taller because Giannis.
He's committed.
Giannis did that.
His son's committed to Stanford. So
interesting.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. Um,
I hope he has a good college career and he can make it to the NBA. You know?
yeah, man, that would be
And then
that
the
would be a
Kings
good
sign him? Bro.
that would be pretty fire.
That'd be pretty fire, bro. Not gonna lie.
Hopefully he don't do too good, man. So this way Kings can get him
Yeah.
with the
He
second
kind of
rounder.
just slits underneath the
Yeah,
radar,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Eh,
Yeah.
like me personally, I always want to go after a former player's kid because
Yeah.
you look across all sports, man. All these kids,
Wasn't
almost all of them, do like way better than their dads ever did.
what about Doug Christie's son? Isn't he playing basketball?
He plays, but I think he's still in high school. And I believe I believe he's a junior. I don't think he has a different name. Um so tonight's game, man. What are you hopeful for a dub tonight, bro? Or do you
I am.
think that this is gonna be another stinker?
No, I'm hopeful. I mean, you see, obviously, this team can turn things around pretty quick. You know, we haven't really had a huge losing stretch in this season. What it's only been the biggest was like 3 games, which is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
You never want to lose more than 2 to 3. And then the Houston games following the two bad losses, the 2 bad games that we played. They came out and they played a lot better. You know, I feel like we can, turn this around quickly. You know, they see what they, even De'Aaron spoke about it. He said they see what they did wrong. They got to come out better in the first and set the tone early. And I feel like they can do that. This is a team that can, fix their wrongs and their mistakes very quickly, game to game. You know what I mean? So I believe it's going to be a better game than we saw, and I believe they can pull out the win. Your take on the 2018 draft? Who did you want personally in the 2018 draft? Jeez, that's going back a little bit. Who did we draft at? Was it?
It was the Luka Doncic.
And Bagley.
Yeah. Well, everybody in Sacramento wanted Luka
Did Luka,
except
yeah.
for Vlade Divac. He was the only one who wanted him. I wanted Luka. I don't know why the organization was skeptical of a Euro player like me. I feel like all overseas players outside of Canada have been proven to be solid, to be good, that they compete at the highest level and dominate.
Yeah.
And so when we was hearing about Luka, like way before 2018, we were hearing about him like 2-3 years before.
Yeah.
And that
him as a 16-year-old playing in that men's league.
This dude was a young prodigy. And then, he becomes the youngest dude to ever be the MVP in the Euro Leagues. And and to me, like, when you're hearing noise about someone who's so young, like, what else do you need to know, man? Because like history has shown that, look at LeBron, okay? He was getting all this attention before he ever entered the draft. And it the he exceeded the hype.
The expectations.
Yeah. So And we've had other examples of dudes that have had some notoriety before they're even eligible to get into a sports league, whether you're talking about football, basketball, something like that.
There's one creating before our eyes right now with Victor
Yeah.
Wembanyama. I
Yeah.
mean, his attention right now is huge.
Yeah.
You know, we can only see what's going on now until he actually gets into the league. You know, he could exceed way more of his expectations, or he could be very, very bust. Like, who knows? You know,
Yeah. And so for me, I wanted Luca, and if I wasn't gonna go with Luca,
for sure.
dude,
Well, Bagley.
I real talk, I know that this sounded kind of crazy, but I was really feeling Colin Sexton and Michael Porter Jr., but Colin Sexton because in college he had a game where I don't remember if it was 3-on-5 or 4-on-5. Like so many players fouled out that only a couple players were eligible, and he was one of them, and they almost won the game, bro. That's insane. That's nothing but effort. And Colin Sexton was the main dude for that. That dude, to me, was nice. And Michael Porter Jr., I was willing to gamble on him, even though we heard all kinds of problems with the back. But I was like, hey man, this can either work really well or it can go south. But
looking at it now, looking back at it now, either of them two would have been better than Bagley.
Yeah.
Looking at it now, either of them. If it wasn't Luca, oh man.
I mean, the last name says it all with the first three letters. Bag, as in bag of trash.
Bag of trash, man.
That's all he was, man.
He thought he was one of the best players Kings have drafted in a long time. Man, this fool was garbage.
Man, it's crazy how good we are since trading him.
I'd have took Willie Cauley-Stein more than Bagley.
I mean,
that says a lot. That says a lot.
Hey, some Piston fan was like trying to talk trash about Kings fans with this whole Marvin Bagley thing, but we weren't even thinking about him. And like every time that they played us, I mean, we put a whooping on them. And on top of that, the guy that we got in that trade, Trey Lyles, has been balling out for us.
AKA Drake Lyles.
Drake Lyles. He's like one of the few Canadians that I like. I try not to think about it, man. I try not to.
Yeah. Try to stuff that down deep.
Yeah. No, hey, you know what? Going back to the whole, young prodigies and stuff. You never hear that about no Canadian.
No.
I'm telling you,
Andrew
man.
Wiggins was never a prodigy.
I'm gonna convince the world about this Canadian thing, bro. I've already decided until they prove me wrong, man.
Yep.
Until they prove me wrong that they're not soft, they're not just a fool's gold and stuff. Because you see a lot of these dudes, man, they put up some nice numbers, but you know what's not nice? All them L's.
Absolutely. Nobody likes them L's.
That's the only number I really care about. Wins and losses.
Yep.
How many wins you got? How many L's you got? That I said how many wins you got and how many L's you got? Man, it feels like a lot. It feels like the 21-7
sister. Whatever 21-7 sister. How many L's you got? A lot.
A lot. How many teams you fooled? A lot. How many busts you got? A lot.
Yeah, man.
The only thing that's good that ever came out of Canada was like the bacon, the maple syrup, hockey. I like hockey, man. Playoff hockey is cool. Fun, bro. Like I love playoff hockey.
It is fun. Would a first round exit be a disappointing season for the Kings? Hell no.
No, yeah.
Not for me. Not to me.
No, because
Not to me.
Vegas had us at 34 wins.
Mm-hmm.
And Vegas does not like to be wrong about nothing. And everybody had us in the 30s, low 30s. Yeah, you're right. I ain't gonna lie about that.
That's funny. That's funny.
Like there's some
But
exceptions, man. There's like
they are.
there's
There
there
is. There
there's
is.
there's some actors and actresses that I like that are Canadian. I try not to
I mean,
think
like
about it.
Drake's from Canada. I mean, he's done pretty well. You know.
The only time that I don't like Drake that make me think about him being Canadian is like when he comes out with songs where he tries to come out real hard, like he's gonna pull up with some shooters or something like that. And
Yeah.
it's like, bro, come on, man. You know, all of
Come
you, if you
on,
guys were gonna
man.
pull up, it's just to say sorry to a lot of
Come on,
people.
Aubrey.
It's
Come on,
just,
Aubrey.
you don't know what you're
Help
talking
me put
about.
it. Drake. Drake. Come on, man.
Man.
But to go back to a first round exit for the Kings, to me it would not be disappointing because the drought the Kings have had so long
Oh yeah, man. I can't stand him being at a basketball game either, bro.
at a Raptors game.
Because it's
Yeah,
not just a Raptors game. He goes to as many games as possible around the league.
yeah,
He acts like
yeah.
such a groupie, man. That's the other thing.
He is a groupie.
That's what I'm saying. Like I can't handle him trying to come off as hard when he comes from suburbs and he had a
Yeah.
lot of snow days where he couldn't even leave the house. Like, come on, man. Get out of here with your Degrassi self, bro. I don't want to hear it. And you acting like a groupie. How you gonna be hard and be a groupie at the same time?
That's what a lot of people are talking about John Morant for. John Morant
Yeah,
came from the suburbs and his parents were married and now
yeah, I
he's
know.
acting all hard in the league and
Yeah,
thinks he's a gangster and stuff.
yeah,
And I'm like, you came from the suburbs, dog. You
yeah.
came
You
from a
cracked me up,
nice
bro.
school. You went
Yeah,
to a
and he
private
ain't about
school.
that life. He ain't about that
It
life.
ain't about that life. No. No. The league don't really have any guys in the league anymore that can check guys like that,
But hey, let's go back to the disappointing thing. Would it
Yeah.
disappoint you if they were swept?
A little bit. Yeah. It would disappoint me because I know this team can compete, man. I know they can win some games. I know they can compete to try to win the series.
Hey, yo, Euro, you think just like my boy Ken. He said the same thing, bro. He said the same
Bruh,
thing. He
The
said
reason the moves were made at the trade deadline is because John Morant said he was fine in the West.
no, that's not why
Boy,
it was made. You know, it's because
no.
the big deal
The
that we
Kings.
made, bro. We got
Kessler Edwards made, man. They had to respond to that, dog. What do you mean?
they're like, yo, the third seed got this full
Kessler
KE.
Kessler Edwards for nothing?
Yeah.
Oh no, we gotta get KD and Kyrie.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Oh man. But yeah, John Morant, man, he
this is
don't know
why
what he's talking about, man.
this is why ESPN can't be doing interviews with bad chicks, man. Because John Morant got in his feels with that chick who was interviewing and he was trying to show off. He said, "We're fine. We don't got to worry about nobody." Psych, boy.
Yeah, man. Like I don't think because we talked about this last time when we were doing the trade deadline reaction.
Yeah.
You know, John Morant don't realize like when he came into the league, there was moves that were made going to the east, and he don't realize that most of the times moves were made going to the west. That
Yeah.
this could happen
When
against
he
him.
came in, the East was building. They were building all them teams out there.
We talked about KD and Kyrie going to Brooklyn and then getting James Harden. He saw that. He
all
was in the
that, yeah.
league to see that. And
Yeah.
he don't realize that similar things could happen in
And
his
when that
conference.
happened, that's when the Warriors just took over, man. The Warriors were the top dogs, you
Yeah.
know?
I said that also at some point before you get into the league, because a lot of players don't really follow the league until they're like in high school age.
Yeah.
And so at that time he saw KD go to the Warriors.
Mm.
So he knows about, teams loading up with talent. And this fool, he's just so full of himself and his team that he don't realize like the kind of stuff that's coming his way.
Oh, he ain't dancing now. But the Grizzlies have had a losing record since an incident with Shannon Sharp. They've had they're like barely 500 to a losing record since that incident with Shannon Sharp at the Lakers game. That's funny to me because they're trying to create this narrative that they're the bad boys of the NBA. Everybody's against them. Everybody's coming after them. And I was like, you're just creating this noise in your head. Like everybody looks at you and laughs at you. Just go out and play basketball. Like, why do you need to be a charade? Like, why do you need to be, And I don't know. It's just funny to me, man. Yeah, he ain't gonna be dancing when they drop down to like the 8 seed.
I think in their last 10, bro, they're 3 wins to 7 losses.
Yeah, yeah. How they're maintaining, I have no idea.
That's crazy. Crazy, man. Damn, dude. Yeah, I'm looking at in the last 10 right now. Shannon put the kiss of death on him, man.
But the fear in them.
When he did this, remember when he did this?
Yeah.
That was
He said,
him.
bring that at,
No.
here, boy.
He was putting the curse. You know how like the great Bambino did it to the Sox? He said,
yeah.
You're cursed. It's going down.
You're cursed.
and since then, not only are they 3-7 in their last 10, but all these moves were made in the West.
Mm-hmm.
So even the teams that don't make it to the playoffs, they're gonna face them.
Mm-hmm.
So like you don't know the type of butt kicking you're gonna get if you play the Lakers again, and because they're revamped, they might not make it, but those L's they cost you regardless.
Yeah.
So yeah,
there's gonna be some teams out there playing spoil. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Come crunch time, they're gonna. If the Lakers are out of it, they're gonna play spoil.
Yep.
So. But yeah.
So Euro, I have a question for you, man. How do you think this game is gonna go? Do you think that tonight the Mavs get the dub, or do you think that they're gonna catch an L because the addition of Luka to the lineup, it might be too fresh, too many things to work out. Yeah.
Lack of chemistry and stuff like that. Is it getting away of them getting the win? Or do the mighty Kings prevail and light the beam?
If I had to put a percent on whether we win this or not, I give the Kings a 60% shot.
I was thinking the same thing.
And a lot of it has to do with the way they caught the L last night, the way they've caught L's in the last few games. Every time that they keep getting their butts kicked, they respond with a better game. And
Yeah.
I'm sure Mike Brown chewed him out about the first quarter.
Of course. He's good about that. The way you see him teach on the court, when something goes wrong. But I'm pretty sure, he's very calm but yet stern about it behind the scenes. I'm pretty sure. I mean, not calm, but he'll get into you. I'll keep it real with you. and that's why he's one of the better coaches we've had in a long time. So
So, I forgot to do this earlier.
oh, you're fired.
I fumbled again,
You're
man.
fired, bro. You're
I
fired,
fumbled
bro.
again.
This guy, come on.
For everybody that's watching that may not be subscribed, we would greatly appreciate it if you did. And if you do, make sure you hit the notification bell.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
Hit the notification bell and make sure you hit all. So this way you're notified anytime we get on and we do anything. We do talk more than just the Kings. We talk about the entire league. We also
Yeah.
we also cover other sports, not just basketball as well.
And if you're watching right now, tune in tomorrow afternoon. We're getting on. We're talking Super Bowl.
Yes, sir. And
We're gonna so tomorrow we're gonna cover this game tonight, tomorrow, but mostly we're gonna talk about the Super Bowl, our picks. You know what we want to see. You know, we're gonna talk Rihanna. You know, whatever.
yeah, so make sure that you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. Make sure you hit all. Make sure to hit that like, man. So this way we can reach out to more people, and hit us up with comments, man. We enjoy conversating with people and getting their feedback and inputs. And even if you ain't watching live and you want to drop a comment, man, we're probably gonna answer it. So yeah, make sure to tune in tomorrow. We're gonna do a pre and post game of the Super Bowl, and we're gonna bring that fire, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, before we head out, what do you think, man? Lighting the beam?
Like the beam. Let's go, boys.
All right, man. Thank y'all for
Appreciate
hopping
everybody.
on. We appreciate you guys.
Look at me, I'm
Have
all
a
the
great
way turned
weekend.
up. I ain't smoking, but
Enjoy
my
the
homie
Super
in here
Bowl.
burnt up. Yeah, I'm working on it.
Eat
Money
good.
straight out. Couple girls trying to twerk it on me. Wait, no.
If you ain't done nothing
Oh,
nice
you
for the
even
week,
roll up. I'm
make
in
sure to
here
do
with
something
my
nice,
lady.
man.
Can't you see
The
me,
little
man? I'm
things.
sold up. Man, I'm
You never
in
know
here
what
trying to
people go
celebrate
through.
a birthday. And
Tell
you
somebody
know
you
it,
love 'em.
man.
It's a work day.
Yeah.
No matter, we still
Tell-
gon' kick
tell
it.
somebody
And
you
we ain't
love 'em,
getting
man.
trippy.
Just
Nobody
hit 'em
in
up
Mississippi.
out of nowhere.
If
Say,
ain't
"Hey, man, I
nobody,
love
ain't
you."
nobody said tripping. And
I love you,
South
dog.
Diego in the
Ken, I love you,
Shout out
man.
to Peter Pan.
I love you,
Skyline
dog.
Imperial, we out here trying to function. Holla if you with it though. Probably think I'm rolling
Peace,
out just
baby.
high on the spirit, bro. The
Love
only
y'all.
thing we poppin' is the truth. You don't hear me though.
See you tomorrow.
They think I'm rolling, I ain't on nothing. They probably think I'm rolling, I ain't on nothing. They probably think I'm rolling, I ain't on nothing. But what I got you need to know about, cause homie, I'm turned.